All right. Welcome to Geek Philosophy, where we love geeky wisdom. And welcome back, everybody. We had a week off, unfortunately. Sorry, I was a little under the weather last time and couldn't run the game, but we are back and we'll be picking up right where we left off. So hopefully,
Awesome.
everybody watched our last session so they'll know what we're doing. But let me introduce everybody. We've got Carrie playing Henrik, the human wizard. We've got Crystal playing Riva, the Asamir druid. And we've got Melanie playing the half elf ranger, Alora. I had to think
Yes.
for a second. Awesome. All right, we're going to jump right in because you guys have been waiting too long. So, literally, we're picking up where you left off. So, if you remember, you had just finished going through the Donran ruins. You had gone into the chest. You found not only the orb, which you were able to kind of get back into your bag of holding very carefully, but you also found a talum, which was sort of a bracelet type piece of jewelry that seemingly knew and maybe belonged to Alora's mom. So it was interesting that it was found there as well. Then, sort of a pulsating energy was humming sort of in the background, and then you were all transported somehow and found yourself in a casino, as luck would have it. And so, as your senses were coming back to you, you find yourself standing, and it's loud and it's boisterous and it's filled with lights and sounds, and you can smell smoke and liquor and all of the things that you would imagine that you could smell in a casino and hear in a casino, and all the sounds that you might imagine. There's music playing in the background. There's coins clicking together. There's dice rolling, all kinds of things. And on top of that, people are laughing and singing along with some of the songs in some places and things like that. So it's very boisterous, and you can see that you luckily appeared in an area that no one has noticed you yet. And it's sort of, you have kind of appeared in the back of where this casino's great room would be, in the very corner of the room, and you notice that you're standing next to a very large pillar, which is in fact the same shape and distinct features of the obelisk that you were standing next to before. And it's sort of been used at some point. Again, these were old ruins, and they must have used this as a post when building onto this structure. So, not knowing probably what it was, and said, "Hey, here's a way for us to build this structure in a sound way." It's very much still there, stone and sturdy, and you're standing right next to it.
Load
And
bearing.
yeah, and it's sort of, you're kind of
It's a
looking around,
load
and
bearing obelisk.
yeah,
I,
exactly.
I
It's
watch
right.
too many home renovation
That's right.
shows.
It's waiting for Mike Holmes to walk around and check to see if it's the right way. So yeah, you're standing next to the load bearing obelisk, and as you're looking around, again, nobody's seen you yet, but you're not near an exit. You're kind of in the back of the casino, and there are several gaming tables ahead of you. There's a bar to the right. There are people playing at some tables. There are both male and female servers walking around with trays with drinks on them, and everybody that seems to be working there is dressed in sort of fine tailored suit type material. So like it's like an overcoat with a tie, and it's very like you can tell this is sort of at least gives the appearance of being a high class establishment. You also hear a lot of people speaking different languages, but mostly it's in the common tongue, and everybody can understand what's going on for the most part around them. It's just different accents, different people from different walks of life. You're not seeing what you're used to, especially Alora and Riva. This is something that you haven't really experienced too much yet. It's sort of a little bit of culture shock. It's even more seemingly diverse than when you were walking through the city in Ventia. So that's kind of where you are right now. So let me give you a chance to catch your breath and talk amongst yourselves to kind of figure out what's going on.
Guys, what just happened?
I don't know. I gotta get
Brian,
somewhere and get better though.
it's definitely better than where we were, for sure.
Yeah.
Is it just to recap? So we've got the orb that's inside the bag, the pouch, right? With the
And it's wrapped
secure.
up.
So we've kind of done our mission as far as that other location is.
Yeah, that's
Right.
correct.
Okay. So so really what we need to do is find out where we are and still try to get back to return the orb, right? Is there a check I can run to see if I can tell based on clothing and stuff to see where we are?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do a history check, and you roll with advantage, please.
I needed that advantage. 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you obviously have never been in this exact building before. That's new. But from the way people are dressed and the way people are speaking, you think you are back in the Commonwealth. You're somewhere in the Commonwealth Alliance. So, and just for sake of people watching, and for both you, Melanie, and Crystal, the Commonwealth Alliance is sort of other side of the continent from where you were. So,
Oh, wow.
large distance between where you started and where
So
you are now.
not
So this is,
Ventia.
yeah, you are no longer in the Ventian Empire.
Can we tell if it's the same time we were in, or is this a different time?
That's a good question. Let's roll a history check and see.
I will aid her.
Okay.
So roll with advantage.
18,
We're both
and what's the
standing there.
advantage?
You can
Roll again
if you
and
want
take
to.
the highest.
Yeah. See if
Okay,
you
well
get
that was 8. That was 18. 22.
Oh, all right. So, it's hard to really nail down specifically, but based on the way people are dressed and the currency that you've seen in the room, you can tell that it looks as if it's current. It's not anything older than Common Era, right? So it appears to be. You have a feeling that it seems like you're in the same time. In other words, you don't have an immediate reaction saying we did some time travel type stuff, but it's not. You can't really tell that without knowing any, arcane type of spell to let you know.
Gotcha.
But nothing's like hinting that you look like you're seeing people that are dressed like they should be dressed like thousands of
100
years
years
ago
from now or
anything like that.
something.
You
Yeah,
don't
okay.
see that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We don't see any
Okay.
sci-fi stuff.
Yeah.
For
Okay.
us.
Right.
All right. Good deal.
I mean, I'm just standing there like, I
I'm
mean,
just hiding in
I
a
grew up
corner.
out in the wilderness. Really, I have not been. I've been in the city a handful of times, but it's not really. I don't think I've ever been to a place like this. So
Okay, well, we need to figure out what's going on with me. I don't know if I'm cursed or what's going on, but I'm losing hit points
But you
like
don't
crazy.
feel good?
And we need to, we need to figure this out quick. Otherwise, y'all are going to be leaving me here and burying me,
Well,
or either
so-
taking me back to Angaro.
what time of day was it? Guesstimate wise, like when we went down and fought, like around what time of day was it when we got teleported here?
So
Because I know we're inside, so it's not like we could see anything to gauge it ourselves, but for right now, but like around what time was it whenever approximately when we like got sent here?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, estimating from when you left to go into, you solved the puzzle to get into the ruins, that was starting to be early evening, late afternoon. So you know that by the time you were transported, it couldn't have been too far into the evening, right? It's nighttime, but you don't know exactly what time it was. But probably early evening, or like in our time, it would have been like maybe 8 o'clock or something
Right.
like that.
So with that, do you guys want to try to get some rooms and maybe have some dinner or something. Let's see if this place has lodging, possibly. And then we can kind of discuss,
Yeah,
how
what the
we're
next steps
gonna
are.
get back.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So
I don't want this
Alora,
to sound crazy.
no, sorry.
Sorry.
Go
I
ahead.
was gonna say I don't want this to sound crazy, but would it be a good idea to try to go back? To go back and then to get out the crypt and go back to drop off our orb? I mean, that was kind
Hell.
of our the task at hand, right? To see if we can find a way to reactivate the obelisk, to see if it's a two-way street.
Interesting.
I'm down for waiting like overnight to kind of rest up, recover from our wounds.
So
And
Yeah,
then
before we start drawing attention and everybody's like, what the hell are y'all doing?
Yeah,
speaking
I'm,
of,
I'm sure we don't look great,
yeah.
I mean,
probably
we
look
were in a
kind of
fight.
beat up and
Yeah.
outlandish, right?
speaking of Alora, with your passive perception, you're able to glimpse as you're all kind of standing there talking. You see out of the corner of their eye, like someone turn and start walking, sort of directly to the three of you.
Okay.
Appears to be a large person, and then if you from that's all you can kind of tell from out of the corner of your eye, and they're just kind of making a beeline to you in a steady pace, not like running or anything, but just a steady pace, walking with intention. And there's nothing else really in this area, so you kind of get the feeling that they're coming over to talk to you.
Okay, guys. Heads up. There's somebody coming our way.
Okay.
I don't
As she
know.
said that, so my bag of holding is more of like a crossbody,
Okay,
not a backpack type thing. I just pull it kind of to the front and put my hands over it.
got it. So you got it like Maxpedition style. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm making sure that there's no possible
Yeah.
way somebody's going to be able. I don't know this place, and it seems
Sure.
full, and I don't want to be taken advantage of. So
Mm-hmm.
All right, so as you are you kind of turning to meet him or her, whoever it is, as they're coming up, or are you just kind of standing there talking to yourselves?
Yeah, I would say we turn a little bit. I like the appearance that we're having like small talk, but yeah, we can turn a little bit to him.
Gotcha. So if you're you kind of are, so there's not really even any deception involved, right? Like you guys are just talking amongst yourselves. So, but as you
I mean, we're
turn a little
kind
bit,
of freaked out that we've been teleported to this place, but
yeah, definitely. So as you kind of turn to see, you see this person is rather large, and when I mean that, probably 6'8", and kind of a greenish gray skin tone, small tusks coming out of their underneath where their bottom lip is, and they're wearing a hat very similar to mine, and they're wearing a very nice tailored sort of dark gray shirt, but long sleeved, and slacks, and they have their sleeves rolled up though, and they're walking straight to you, and you can tell as they get a little closer, it's a half orc, and
he's like a bouncer, right?
he's oh wonderful. I'm so glad that you came here and made it past security armed. Can you please look around this establishment and tell me, is anyone else here armed? No, they're not. So, either you hand over your arms, or I will be calling the constabulary right now. What will it be?
I
I'm for
mean,
handing over our arms.
Sorry?
what?
We're handing over our arms.
I'm handing mine over. My body is a weapon. I could.
Is there a back door? Is there a back door? Because I'm running through it.
Let it be known
No.
on Star Day the 12th of Stormreach, the year 1414, Riva said her body is a weapon. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I just look at Alora and I'm like, you know what? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Here. And I start.
Not
Oh,
to
gosh.
me. The weapons check toward
Oh,
the front.
could
Come
you
on, let's go.
kindly
And he's-
show us where that's at?
So he starts walking you over, and you see like you're walking past some tables, and then right past the entrance, there's like this booth where people have checked in coats, but also weapons, and so he like goes over and like you see the little like a booth, and there's like curtains on either side where the attendants would walk in behind the booths, but you don't see anybody standing there. Like, and he's like, please, oi, oi, and you see stepping up on a stool. Yeah, hello, yes, all right, yes, please, weapons. And you see this little halfling stepping up on a step stool and looking over the counter and going, and like, what's interesting about this little halfling is he's going bald, gray hair. He's missing 4 of his teeth in the front. On the left side, he's just like, and he's like, this is the highlight of his day, taking weapons from people, I guess, because he's just so excited that he's getting to do his job right now. So, of course, as you hand them over, he's putting them away, and then tickets come onto the counter, and you get like a little ticket, like a valet check almost, where you can come back and get your stuff. So he takes if you're handing them over, he takes your weapons and puts them behind the booth.
I'm handing over my staff and my dagger.
Okay.
But I wear my sling like a bracelet, like a leather bracelet.
Okay.
So
you're not handing that over?
Inconspicuously, it's a wrap.
Okay.
So I'm going to keep it on because it looks like it's a bracelet, not a weapon.
Yep. Sounds good.
Good call. Okay, now let's ask if they have rooms for rent.
Yeah, sorry. I'm just going to ask real quick if my wand counts as a weapon.
Are you asking the attendant, or are you just asking me?
No, never mind. Just forget I said anything.
Okay.
Right on.
Good call.
Stick it up your sleeve.
And Alora, did you hand over your stuff as well?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So then, large orcish fellow said, all right, very good. So, my name, sir and madam, is Duster, and should you need anything, please see me. However, don't forget, if you're not drinking or you're not gambling, you are leaving. Thank you, and enjoy your night at the gray-beard, silverish kind of color. I hate the name of this place, casino. Fine, leave you later. And he walks away. He seems to be the most disinterested, has to do his job, security guy that you've seen.
Duster?
Duster, yeah.
And what was the name of the place?
Well,
Graybeard.
He said the Graybeard, Silverbeard, but when you look around, you see, I don't know if some of you might have been to actual casinos before, and you know that like on the tables, sometimes they have a little card that tells you how to play or what the minimum bets are. You kind of glance around and you can see on a couple of those that at the bottom has a carving of a beard, and it's silver, and then underneath it says the silver beard, and then underneath the beard it says, or over top of it says the silver beard. Then there's like this silhouette of a beard, and then underneath that it says since 1462 CR.
Okay. So before
what is DR? Oh, sorry.
No, that's a great question. The Common Reckoning.
Oh, I was thinking circa.
That's why I was asking.
Common Reckoning. Okay, so can we... what Carrie was saying a second ago is like, I want to like ask, is there any clear way to see if there's a check-in? I know that we just gave this guy our weapons and this guy's like a bouncer, but is there any way to figure out if they have a place to stay or like rooms?
So make a perception.
I was going to ask the halfling.
Yes. What did you? Someone need something?
Yes, I was wondering if y'all had any rooms.
Rooms? Yes, we have some rooms. VIP rooms.
Oh crap.
Are you VIPs?
Mm.
What? Have you been playing? If you're not playing, you're not staying.
Oh, okay. Good to know. Are we playing? Are we going? Or do we want to ask where there's a hotel or an inn or?
So,
we could play a game or two, right?
Yeah.
Any of you guys compulsive gamblers? Is that in your background at all?
Yeah,
Compulsive gambling?
Does
It's
anybody
not
have
for me.
anything in
No.
there? Any proficiency with gambling sets or anything like that? It's okay if
I
you
don't
don't.
think so.
Hold
The
on.
establishment prefers it if you don't.
Of course they do.
Yeah, I've listed my personality trait. I'm a master gambler. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so I say we play a couple games, huh, and just stay here rather than going somewhere else.
So,
How do we become VIPs though? How much are we gonna have to spend to become a VIP? Because that stuff ain't cheap.
yeah. Carrie, roll another history check for me.
Yeah, all I'm proficient, is cartography and herbalism. So,
Once you figure out where you
Yeah.
are, you might be able to make a map about it and go collect some herbs around the area. But
well, I have the handy dandy wanderer feat thing, so I remember every direction. So,
sorry.
So I got a 16.
Okay, so with the 16, now that you are in, like, you've kind of figured out, all right, in the Commonwealth, I have, and I'm also not only in the Commonwealth, but I'm in a casino. Something is sort of triggering your memory of the Benin Commonwealth. And in the Benin Commonwealth, there is a city that's called Grand Ridge. And Grand Ridge is basically a casino town. Like, that's what it is. Like, it's finding anything other than casinos will be hard. And
so like Biloxi.
yeah.
In Vegas.
Yeah. Although it's also built into a mountainous area, but these mountains are on the other side of the continent, so they're different from what you have seen before. A little bit more of a jaggy rock type scenario, less of the rolling hills that you went into, and then sort of the crags that you saw when you were traveling. So, Carrie, you kind of know that this is kind of the place. And to be fair, it kind of has the reputation of the Commonwealth Alliance tends to be pretty upright and not too many issues, but if there were going to be some issues, it would likely be in Grand Ridge. So that's the feeling that you get. You've never heard of this specific place, but just by seeing people, hearing the accents, hearing what's going on, you just have a feeling that's where you might be. But that doesn't tell you anything about, the city itself. You just kind of have a feeling that that's where it might be.
Cool. So then, so what do we have to do to get a room to be able to play? Do we just cash in tokens or?
So, I mean, you can ask. The only person you spoke to so far was the coat check, weapon check guy. But you can ask around, or you can play and find out, or you can go try to find someone like Duster again that could help you with all of his charm.
Yeah, what do you guys think? Do you want to get a room here? It sounds from.
I mean,
from
I
what
would.
know, this place of the Commonwealth. This is pretty much every place we go to is going to be similar to this. So maybe it's best that we just stick here, rest up. What are your thoughts?
Well, if our plan is to try to keep an eye on this obelisk as well, then I don't know if it would pay off for us to go somewhere else.
Yeah, we can always do
How
it
do they not
tomorrow.
have I mean, we had this like crazy hum happening. Anyways, but yes, I would totally love to play a few games.
Okay. So you may have heard of a couple of them. I don't know how many of you have had a chance to play some games of chance where you're from. Carrie, well, I'll just let you guys tell me. So, have your characters gambled before? Because that will kind of inform what kind of games might be available. Are they gamblers at all?
I'd say no.
Okay, so you would kind of be learning the games a little bit as you play, but hey, it's there's so you can kind of
Beginner's luck.
yeah, and sort of you can tell that there's some like. Well, what are you looking for in tables? There's different tables, right? There's tables that are, they tend to be dice games, from what you can tell. Almost the majority of them are dice games. There are a couple games that have a spinning wheel, and there's some groups that are kind of crowded around some tables, and then there's other games that seem to be sort of on their own, and there's a couple like board dealers sitting at them. Like, what are you looking for as far as if you were going to play? Where would you like to start? Oh, in addition to that, there seems to be a half moon shaped red table that's sort of in a out of the way spot. Not too many people around it, but there's an older lady sitting in the crux of the half moon, and seems to have sort of she's probably in her mid 60s, early 70s or something, and she's got some gray hair kind of pulled back, and she's just kind of sitting just at the table like this. There are, let me see what else you got. There is one of the other people that are kind of empty and nobody really at their table. Looks to be a tiefling male. Again, still in that same sort of dress code-ish sort of suit that everybody's wearing. Although they have their sleeves rolled up and banded around the side, and it's more of a vest type situation for the dealers. And so there's a tiefling with deep red skin coloration and black horns that are kind of coming up this way, and sort of salt and pepper hair, and he's kind of just, looking around and waiting for someone. And then there's another table where there's someone with like seafoam green flowing locks and dark blue skin, and she seems to be just sitting there, and she's kind of flipping a dice in her hand and catching it as she's nobody at her table either. And then other than that, there are a few groups that are sort of, like I said, kind of clustered around, and they're all playing and hooping and hollering and playing along. So you guys can join some of the ones that are already existing and playing, or you can, if you want to play, you can go find one of these empty seats at any of those tables and kind of see where you want to go.
I'm going to the bar for a drink. And then and then I'm gonna find a dark corner that I can hide in and let y'all have at it, because I'm still almost about to die over here. So I'm like,
Alora, you can't do that. We have to get VIP status. Like, we need all of us.
They said we could drink or play. I'm gonna drink. You guys play.
Nobody has weapons. Well, get a drink or two in you, and then come and find me and Henrik, or I'm gonna come and drag you back with us, because.
So back where you were originally, there was a bar on that side where you can walk and you can get a drink. It was almost close to where you popped in. That you saw one when you came in. So you can backtrack and go to that bar if you want to get something to drink.
Are there games close to the bar and the pillar?
Actually, a couple of the one, the out of the way table with the red tablecloth with the older lady that's sitting there is there. And then the next to that on the other side is that one open table with the seafoam hair, blue-skinned woman that is sitting at that one flipping the dice. So those are the two open tables that are over on that side by the bar.
Okay, so which one are y'all going to, and I'll get my drink and meet you there.
Henrik, I was interested in the red table.
Okay.
So whether we stay together, whether we split up, whatever, I would like to maybe stay together for the first couple of games, just to make sure that, we're not just splitting and heading off in different directions, but I wouldn't mind grabbing a drink really quick or sitting at the table if they have people. Are there people coming around serving drinks to people at the tables?
There are people. Those were the ones that were walking around and they had stuff in hand. So you can see that there are people that kind of have standard drinks like wine glasses and some flagons of either ale or mead that are kind of walking around. So as they, as people are playing, they come up to them to offer them things. But otherwise, if you're not playing, they kind of leave you alone. It looks like.
So then my only other question is, do we, and I think Henrik said something similar earlier, do we go to like a bullpen or something to get chips? Like, does each table, do you have to just pay gold? What do you have to do?
Yeah, good question. It looks as if, because, and this is one of the ways you kind of could tell, especially when Alora was kind of thinking about, are we in the same time period and stuff? You can see that everybody's playing with coins. They're playing with their currency. So, and it looks like everybody's, for the most part, playing with Commonwealth coins. They're playing mostly with gold marks. Although there are a few people playing with silver talents and things like that.
Okay, well, Riva kind of nudges over to Alora and is like, listen, I only got 10 gold. I know you have some money.
Oh, you need a loan?
A loan?
Now
I'm trying to
I
get us
know.
rooms. I am trying to secure us a VIP status.
How
Okay?
much do you need?
I don't know. I just don't want to be like exiting the table to come over and be like, hey, can I have some money?
Okay, let's see. I've got
maybe just 10
100,
gold.
10 gold?
Maybe just,
okay.
yeah, just
All
give
right,
me 10 more gold. Then I'm going to gauge how much the table is and, decide if I want to stay there or not, based on how much,
So which one are you going to?
The red table.
So as you walk up to the red table, you can see that it's sort of red fabric covering the wooden table that's kind of shaped in that half moon shape, and she's it's so nice to see you. And by the way, you don't see a little table card with any numbers or anything like that, like about what to play or what the game is or anything at this one. It's so nice to see you. I knew you would be here. Of course you would. And then she opens her hand and just lays out and fans on the table. She fans this deck of cards that just kind of fans all the way out across the half moon of the table. Roll a, let me think, Arcana check.
Okay. I rolled a 3.
That's okay.
So 4.
So please come sit, my dear. Come sit. What is your name?
Hi. Well, first of all, I love your table. It's gorgeous. I love the moon and the stars. They're just... I kind of talk to her, like I'm used to hanging out with Javin. So, it's that whole respect for kind of, someone a little bit older than you, but not sickeningly sweet, And I just say, hi, my name is Riva. What's your name?
Well met, Riva. My name is Avon. It's so good to see you. And blessed me, you were talking about moon and stars. You must love my table. And you actually, when you look down and you see, sort of faded now because the table's a little older, there's a symbol of a sun with a face in it, and then you can see sort of a crescent moon at the top with a little star in the crescent moon, just in the center of this red table. And that's kind of where the cards went across. Would you, my dear, like a reading?
I would absolutely love to have a reading, but might I inquire as to what that would cost?
My dear, you can leave any number of coin you feel is appropriate when we are finished.
Really?
Of course. This is one of the things I love to do for people, and it seems as if you need this, my dear.
Ooh.
Well, I was just drawn to you right away, so I would love it.
Very well. Please sit. Please sit. And so she takes
Okay.
the cards, she puts them back, and she starts to shuffle and kind of cut them and fan them together. And she's doing this intricate movements with the cards and then fanning them out and shuffling them again, almost the way like a current like illusionist magician would handle the deck. And then she puts it down on the table. So, by the way, are Henrik and Laura, are you nearby while this is happening? Are you watching? Are you doing your own thing?
I'm nearby with her because she wouldn't let me go away.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to need you to pick 3 cards first. Then we'll pick the last. So, since I don't have you in front of me to do the drawing of cards, what I'm going to need you to do, and let me hang on a second. Okay. So if you could roll percentile for me.
Okay. So before I do that, as she's talking to me and she says that I need to touch, and kind of feel and figure out which cards I want to pull. Riva just she gets really quiet and she closes her eyes and she just, quickly shoots off a little like prayer to to Melora, or even to like her her Deva, just whatever needs to be revealed, let it be revealed. And I would like to cast guidance on myself, very like inconspicuously, if I can.
Okay. And so guidance
Let
usually...
you guide me, type thing.
Sure, go for it.
Okay. All right, and I know you want me to roll a percentile, but so regardless of how I roll, I want her to still kind of,
Yeah.
She's for flavor, even if that's what it is. Okay, so percentile.
Yep.
Let's see. Which ones do I want to use? All right, so I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna do what we do, where I do the 2 singles.
That's
my
fine.
teal is gonna be my high number, and my more clear one is gonna be my low.
Okay.
A 0 and a 1.
So which one was... So it was 0... So it was 1 or it was 10?
It is a 1.
Okay, 1. All right.
Ooh.
Give me a second.
Pick different dice.
I mean, it might be good. Who knows?
That's true. You have a point.
Okay. So...
Whoa.
I just flattened my dice tray. Sorry.
This is you drawing the card, and she asks you to put it face down. And then after you put it face down, then she turns the card face up.
So is that just my first card is the 1?
The first one.
Okay.
After I reload my page. There we go. The Avenger. You have someone that has gained something very powerful recently, haven't you? Someone that carries a new weapon. Very interesting, my dear. Ooh, I am intrigued. Draw again.
Okay. I'm gonna do this all night. I'm not good at casinos. I like games too much. Okay. An 88.
88.
I rolled both 8s, if you believe it. It's crazy.
I believe it. Sorry, this is a little cumbersome on my side. I promise I will get it out there as quick as I can.
It's super fun, so I'm good. I love this stuff.
Okay, so you reach again and you put the card next to the first, and then she kind of hovers her hand over it for a second and closes her eyes and says, "Most interesting.
Oh.
The seer. You have to reload your page." And the seer is gone.
Nice.
And
Are those eyeballs in his head?
yes.
Yes.
And so you have someone watching you or those around you. Very interesting. Please, I'm dying to know what happens next. Draw again.
97. Wait, 91. Sorry.
91. Still.
Yep.
Okay. Reload so I don't have to do it again. So, again, you draw the card and you put it next to the other two, and she slowly puts her hand over it, and she sort of pulls it back for a second, and then she flips the card over.
The death card. Oh!
Hangman.
Executioner.
The executioner. My dear, someone wants you not to complete your task, wants you to fail so much, they are willing to pay the final price. Interesting. So then she says, "Now, my dear, the first card represents the past. It represents something that may have happened early in your life or eons ago, or it could have happened earlier today. The second card represents the present. Someone must be watching you now, or those around you now. And the third represents the future. It represents what people are willing to do. Very interesting, my dear. The fourth, though, the fourth card will represent the self. It will say something about who you are." Go ahead and roll again.
So, just for flavor, as she says that, you can kind of see like a glimmer, like Reva's eyes kind of light up a little bit, like luminescent, kind of like a cat when the light hits it.
Yeah, she kind of draws back a little bit and smiles. Ooh, I like this. I haven't
42.
had this much fun. Oh my goodness.
42, sorry.
Okay. 1 second. Okay. So, as you pull the last card, your hand stops for a second and changes its mind, and then kind of is drawn to another one. And you pull that one and you place it next to the 3 that are there. And with that, she immediately turns it over, no hesitation whatsoever. Maybe. Let me reload my page. The 3 of coins, the trader. Interesting. This can signify many things. Something that you have that may be traded for something else. Something that you need to acquire from someone wishing to see more. And then she kind of reaches out and holds your hand slightly as you left it on the table and looks into your eyes and says, it can also mean other things. Have you seen the shadows?
Yes.
They're moving into our world. Maybe they want to trade you for one of them. My dear, this was exhilarating. Please, please leave whatever coins you think are appropriate, and I bid you have a grand day at the Silverbeard. And she, with that, kind of takes the cards off the table and moves them back into the rest of the deck and starts shuffling them.
Okay, so you see me kind of pulling through some of my pouches, kind of rifling through my pouches, and I pull out a seed and I cast Druidcraft, and you see a really bright kind of luminescent dark red peony kind of bloom in my hand.
Okay.
And I lay it in front of her and I give her 2 gold and say thank you very much.
This is most generous. And she takes the coin and she pulls it off of the table where you hear it go clink clink into some kind of a bucket or something behind the table. And then she takes the flower and she just slips it right into the crook of her where her lapel is and just leaves it there and sits back and smiles at you.
Thank you very, very much.
Oh.
I will heed every word.
Please do. And please come back. Futures can
and
change. So can the past, by the way.
And Riva is like lock, stock, and barrel. She's like, this lady was amazing. You guys, she knew so much,
She knew about my dog.
She knew about everything.
Lucky guesser.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't really. It was very enlightening. So.
Okay, so Riva and Henrik, what are you guys up to? Just kind of watching it go down?
Yeah, I don't know if I want to go down that path myself.
Yeah.
But what if we want to go, we could go play like a game?
Yeah. So
is that a game?
Yeah, do you want to go to a larger table with a lot of people or stick with, a smaller group or one of the ones that are empty? What do you
Yeah, whatever's open. I think we could do.
Yeah, so there's, again, right next to you, there are 2 tables that are kind of adjacent to the fortune teller. There is that tiefling male and that seafoam green hair, dark blue skinned female. Let's see.
Do I recognize what kind of race she is?
Roll a nature check. If anybody is
all of
curious.
us are just Henrik.
Anybody that's curious is fine.
I got a 12.
16.
So with the 16, you kind of recognize as a water genasi.
Ooh. Alora, are you going to come with us? Or do you want to try your hand
I'm
at
kind
the
of thinking
fortune
about
lady?
this table too. Yeah,
I
I was
know,
thinking
she's
about
awesome,
this
isn't
table
she?
too. Yeah, especially since I've got so much going on. I'm wondering if she could tell me some things. But let's go do what Henrik wants, and then if we want to, we'll
We
come
can
back.
circle back around.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Yeah, so let's go to the water ganassi table.
okay.
Sounds good.
Oh, wonderful!
I'm intrigued.
I'm so glad to see you approaching my table. Please come close so I can play the games with you.
I'm gonna walk up and present. Or how much is it? How much is it to play?
Yep, give me 1 second and I will get that all set up for you. So this is so as you approach the table, you see the title on the little card appear. And this is called Alder's Mark. And so there are 3 rounds of betting, and there is a 10 gold pieces minimum buy-in for the house. So you just you pay the house 10 gold, and then other people that play with you are betting against you. So this is one of those at this table that you really wouldn't be able to play unless others in your party were playing against you, or if other patrons were coming up. However, you also see that the sign has a little swivel on it, and you could ask if it looked like it would be switched to play a different game, or you could go to another table if you don't think that this is the right game for you.
Yeah, let's play a different game. We don't want to be betting against each other, right?
No.
No.
You can give me 10 gold if you want right now. Or...
No.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
try
we're trying to like get a
Yeah,
room
let's try-
here. We're not trying to like break ourselves against each other.
Yep.
Right.
Oh no, please don't go away to another table. Please stay here at this table and play with me.
Yes, she's so,
So-
So
lovely.
maybe we'll come back.
Oh, really?
Do you have
So-
anything else to offer?
You know who has a great table is there is the table right over there. Mr. Dupree. He has all kinds of different things that you could play. Mostly he spins that damn knife around. So why don't you try that one?
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is she pointing to the tiefling?
Yeah, so she's pointing to the table that you guys are going to anyway.
Okay. Yeah, let's go to the tiefling then.
So, as you get to this table, you see that this one has a spinning wheel on it. And the spinning wheel, the pointer looks to be like in the shape of a stiletto knife. And it's sort of you spin and you bet the number. If it lands, if you bet a single number, then you get 3 times whatever you bet if it lands on that particular number. If you just say, I want to bet on odds, then it gives you 1.5 times a payout. If it even, 1.5 eyes. If you don't get any of those, you lose your money. It's a 5 gold piece minimum, but it's just a D20 roll, and then that D20 roll tells you, so you pick a number, 1 to 20 basically, and then you're betting on that number. Hello, it's good to see you all. Welcome to my table. You want to spin the knife? You want to spin the knife.
I think we want to spin the knife.
Oh, this is good.
Do it.
Let's see. I want to see how much money I can win for you. Let's go. What is your number? What is your number?
Who's going
All right,
first?
Henrik. I was about to say this is Henrik's game.
You
He
can
wanted to
literally
do
all
something.
go at the same time. Because it's just you don't have to
Okay.
wait. Everybody can go.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Then I will do 5 gold pieces, the minimum, because Reva's just not flush.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go on odds.
Okay. So, Eva. I'm just gonna let you keep track of your money and your things, so I don't have to do that. I'm just gonna be rolling the dice. Actually, you want to take turns rolling? I trust you guys, so I'm not rolling. I'll let you guys roll. So,
But it's one roll for everybody, right? It's kind of like a roulette wheel,
Yeah.
so we're betting on one roll.
yeah, yep. So you're betting on odds, Riva,
Yes.
and anybody else betting?
I'm scared to bet on evens, but I'm gonna bet.
Well, one of us will make money. That'll only
Yeah.
be half of the bets, like
But
half
we're
the money
guaranteed to lose.
gone.
Yeah.
Minimize our whatever.
Or we just gambling though. You got to go all in. I'm hoping that we're both gonna be right.
And there's no maximum, really. If you want to bet more than 5, you can. It's just the minimum is that.
I only
Hi,
have
dollars.
everybody else. So
So what were you betting? I'm sorry, Henrik?
I'm gonna bet 5 as well.
On what?
On odd.
Odd?
Oh, you're going
Alora?
odds as well?
Alora,
Yeah.
you doing anything?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, you're on
Oh.
mute.
You're muted.
You're on mute.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
I'm gonna go even since they went odd. That way somebody maybe wins something.
All right. So round 1, we got odds for Riva, odds for Henrik, and even for Alora. So, and you're all betting 5?
Yes.
All right. Here we go. Who wants to roll?
Can I guidance
Crystal-
myself? Is that against house rules?
You can try.
Oh, I don't want to be kicked out. Can I
So okay.
Can I look
so, wait,
around
so
and
if
see
you,
Yeah, 'cause
if
that's
there's,
kinda
like,
cheating.
rules that
So
say?
I mean,
so
that's kind of cheating.
So here's the thing, right? So there is, you could cheat. Like there's nothing saying you can't cheat. This roll is representing a spinning thing, right? So you can definitely do guidance on yourself and like I don't know.
Oh yeah,
what
I'm
the
going
guidance
odds and
would do,
it. Yeah,
right?
it doesn't
So
matter. It doesn't
It just
matter.
depends on how you want to handle that. There
You're
definitely are ways to cheat at games. It's harder to cheat on this one. You could like, lost carry. There we go. Like, no, you're fine. Like you could cheat by swapping out coins if you think you're fast enough, things like that. But basically, you guys all know what you're doing. So let's roll it and see what you got.
Oh boy.
Oh, I rolled a 6.
It was a 6. All right.
Do
So
I add anything to it?
I'm so sorry that you didn't win, my dear. But for you, my dear, you won. This is
Wait.
great for you.
Oh, it was a 9.
It wasn't. Oh, then I am
It-
so happy that you won. This is great. I'm so sorry for you, my dear, that you didn't win.
I wasn't looking at the little line.
All right. So that
Okay.
means that you got 1.5 times. So you got your 5 back. So that's 10 plus another
2.5.
Yep.
So 7.5.
Okay, so that means Henrik gets the same because he did odds.
Well, I think he gets to roll for him. Wait.
No, that was it. Everybody.
That was
Oh,
it.
I didn't realize I
Yeah,
was
that
rolling
was-
for both of us.
You were rolling
I was
for
rolling
everybody.
Yeah,
myself.
Yeah.
The wheel just
Oh.
spins, and then
Oh,
everybody's
jeez.
betting on what.
Thank God I
This
looked at
is-
the line.
This is
The
basically
dice is so hard. It's like a super crystalline dice, so it's
Hmm.
kind of hard to read the numbers.
So this is basically D&D roulette,
Hmm.
Yeah.
right?
I figured
So like
that
you know,
out.
spin.
Or I figured that out.
Everybody's putting on the number, and then you're kind of rolling this thing.
Gotcha.
So our net gain is 2 gold pieces and 5 silver pieces.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
Per person, right?
No. Well, yeah, per the people, the two.
Yeah,
Per
me
you
and
two.
Henrik.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Phew.
All right. Would you like to go again? Of course, you want to go again. Spin the knife.
Henrik, what do you want to do?
Yeah, let's do it one more time. Let's do it one more time.
Do
All right,
none
you
of
go
you have a
then.
lucky number? This is everybody has. Did you go see the fortune teller to find a lucky number? Maybe you would have found a lucky number.
I mean, I got an executioner. Is that a lucky number?
Oh, but there were numbers on your cards you didn't. Oh, that's fine.
I mean, there was numbers on my one card was a 1.
Oh, that might be the best number for you to bet on.
Well, I'm gonna defer to Henrik this time.
Okay.
Well, I just myself picked a number and then rolled 6 times in a row, and I didn't get any of it. So no,
So you're
I'm
not
not
gonna
going to do it.
Okay. So
I can roll. I'm going to do one more though, even or odds.
okay.
I'm going to do a $5 gold piece bet for even.
Even. Okay. Switching it up. Anybody else betting?
I'm not.
I kind of want to do single number, but I don't want to I would still be up 2.5 though.
If you can figure out a way to magic something or cheat something, you are more than welcome to. I'm not discouraging anyone.
No, I mean, I don't want to cheat. It's more like Crystal would totally be on board, but I'm trying to I don't want to deplete. I don't want to be super crazy gambler girl over here with. Okay, I will. Okay, so it's a 20, right?
Yeah. 1 to 20.
I will go with. Oh, what did you did evens?
Yeah.
Yes.
I will go with a 12.
Okay.
So
Oh my
5
God.
gold pieces on a 12.
All right, you ready? Odds are not good. This is gonna happen. All right, I'm rolling. I got a 17.
Not a 12.
Okay.
And not an even.
You know, sometimes the knife just goes the wrong way. We can. I tell you what. Let's spin it the other way this time and see what happens.
Without paying for it?
Well, I mean, we have to bet. I mean, come on. It's important that we bet. We have to keep the landlords happy. Happy, yes, happy.
No, I can't do it.
So is the table close to the fortune teller lady?
I mean, yeah, it was one of the ones that was adjacent to it. So.
Okay, so Reva's gonna kind of mosey over and be like, psst, psst. Hey, any feeling on a number? I mean, I was really nice to her. Any kind of...
I mean, dear, you had a 13. Maybe that's your number.
13, okay.
You had a 1 and a 3, or 31, but I don't think the wheel goes that high. Or a 1 and a 3. I mean, who knows?
Okay.
That was way too vague.
Okay. Thank you. So I go back over and I'm just kind of do we want to check anything else out, guys? Want to look at something else? Look around, see what else is available.
Yeah, this game sucks.
Don't, Henrik, don't say that in front of him. We're trying to make a good impression. Jeez.
So, Henrik and Alora, as you're playing, and you're kind of looking down, the waitstaff comes up and on either side says, would you either like one of these drinks? We have wine here, or do we have ale? What would you like?
I'd love a wine.
So you can take a glass of wine from it. Carrie, are you taking anything?
No.
Okay. And they turn and say, oh, and you too as well. And they see you, Riva, and they kind of do the same thing.
So I want to look and see what the liquid looks like in both of them. What is the mead? Just a standard, kind of golden color. What does the wine look like?
It's a red wine.
It's very good.
Unfortunately, I need something kind of on the sweet side. So is the wine more sweet or is the mead more sweet? Is it honey mead or,
He said ale.
Oh, ale, sorry.
Yeah, so that's probably not sweet.
Yep. So would you like mead, dear? I can find some mead for you.
I would just really appreciate something that's a little bit more like a dessert wine, sweet tooth.
Okay, I will find something and be back, sure.
Thank you.
Are you still playing, my friends, now that you have a comfortable drink and another one coming?
No, thank you, sir. We will be moving to another table.
I understand. I understand.
We might be back.
So, as you are turning to leave, Melanie, Carrie, can you guys both roll a perception check, please?
$18.
13.
So, Melanie, you see, moving from sort of the far end of the room, walking sort of, they look like they're trying to be speedy but inconspicuous towards the front door. You see someone that you haven't seen in a while. You see Terrence Keach, who was a friend of yours from a while back. Someone that you sort of remember. Let me make sure that I'm telling you this right. He was sort of a drinking buddy of yours, and kind of said, hey, if you're ever in town, I'll make sure that you have a place to stay. It was someone that you knew from Angarove that then went on to live in Ventia. And it's kind of weird. It's him. It's like you can plainly see that it's your old friend walking across. And as you're staring over there, because you're like, Carrie, your eyes are drawn over same way, just because you see Alora looking that way, and you recognize Terrence Keach as well, and
Terrence gets around.
And sort of again, like weird that you would both see him. Weird that he would be here, and you guys are here as well. And we're gonna take a break.
Okay.
All right. So we'll be back in about 10. So
Okay.
we'll see you guys shortly.
Great. All right. Thank you.
Good. Everybody's. Can everybody hear me okay? I'm picking up a mic issue somewhere, but I can't tell whose.
Yeah, I can hear you okay. Melanie's reverberating a lot.
Oh, okay. Is it bad?
It's like super loud. It's weird that it changed from when you were here a second ago.
Yeah, because I haven't moved anything.
Okay. Well, we'll do best we can.
Is that better?
Yeah, I can hear you okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
It seems to be getting better for some reason. Okay, cool.
Okay.
All right. So, we left off. You had just noticed that Terrence Keach was walking across.
Okay, is he by himself or with a group?
Seems to be sort of moving through the crowd by himself. He's holding something, but you can't tell that it's on his other side. You can see sort of the left side of him. He's carrying something in his right hand, almost like he's got a jacket over his arm, and he's like walking towards the front door. He doesn't even seem. He's on the other side of where the coat check, weapon check area is. He doesn't even seem to be going for that. He seems to be going right for the front door.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell everybody I know this guy that's going toward the front. His name is Terrence. I don't know what he seems to be doing, but he did tell me at one time that I'd have a place to stay if I ever needed it. But he looks like he's being a little sketchy, so I don't know if we need to deal with that or not right now. What do you guys think?
I think we should. Let's try to catch him as quick as we can. And then as we're walking, I'll say I also know Terrence, so it's interesting.
Okay. All right. Well,
You guys both know the same person?
that is weird.
Exactly.
How do you know him?
Again, I don't believe in fate, but this is pretty crazy coincidences we've experienced lately.
I mean, we literally
do
just
you know
teleported
him?
to the other side of the continent, and we see someone. Okay. It's crazy. It's telling us something.
Are all three of you going toward him, or just Henrik and Alora? Reva, are you going too?
I am behind. I will follow them, but I'll be behind them, so it doesn't look like he's being like ambushed or something.
All right. So, are you going to be moving pretty quickly to try to get him to him as quick as you can, or what's the?
I'm gonna let Henrik go ahead and because he was in a hurry, and I'm gonna kind of do like Reva and kind of hang back a little bit,
Okay.
just in case.
So, how far in between? Like, how much of a space are you hoping to have between you guys?
Maybe like
I mean,
12 foot maybe or something.
Okay. All right. That's fine. I didn't know.
yeah,
Like,
I
you
wasn't
were
thinking.
waiting,
I was
like,
thinking.
until they were out of the room until you went, or like I wasn't sure like how you were handling it. So.
Oh no, like
Okay.
just so I can still see him. Like
Okay, got it. And Henrik, what are you kind of like just walking with a purpose
Yeah.
to get to him?
Yeah, not to attack him, but I just don't
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
lose him basically if he goes out the door. Yeah.
Gotcha. So, are you trying to be inconspicuous at all, or just kind of going?
So not inconspicuous to him, but I don't want to cause a stir to like people
Sure.
around him. If he feels like he's trying to be there, yeah.
Okay. So
Once
I'll
we
say
get an
that
earshot.
because he
Yeah,
seems
when I
to
get an
not.
earshot, I'll call him.
Yeah, so he seems to be trying to be inconspicuous, but you're seeing him anyway. And so he's moving a little slower than he would, but you can tell that he's still deliberate, like moving through the crowd, going to where he needs to be. Every once in a while, he'll stop and wait for someone to walk by before he'll start going again. So you're able to get probably within 15 or 20 feet of him, but he just starts walking out the front door as that happens. So you can either, keep going or hold back, whatever you want to do. You're muted, but
I'd like to follow him out the door.
okay. Are you guys all going to, or?
I'm gonna hang inside the door.
yeah, I'm with her.
Okay.
Like I want to still. So is the door set up in a way where I could still kind of keep an eye on making sure he's okay?
So there are two people sitting on stools on either side of the front door as sort of doormen as they come in, and they're dressed in a similar way, and they're kind of big guys, nowhere near the size of Duster, but one of them is a human male, red hair, red sort of beard that comes down like like this, but no chin hair, just kind of like the big mutton
Chops.
chop type thing. And then on the other side, you got someone completely clean shaven, slender build, looks to be a half elf with no hair, just kind of like sitting and leaning on his stool. And they kind of are like, just kind of eye him a little bit as he walks out, but then they just kind of go back to just sitting and watching. They're more concerned with people that are coming in that aren't supposed to go, or that are leaving being escorted by others. So it seems like they're not really paying attention. But Henrik, as you go out, you see that Terrence is making his way to the left outside of the building, and he's now picking up the pace, and he looks like he's about to turn to go sideways, as if he's going behind into an alley behind the casino. It is dark outside, by the way. It is nighttime. So there are. It's not gaslight, but there are lanterns that are hanging up with a faint glow. Excuse me, of some type of arcane light type of thing. You've recognized these in most of the cities you've been in. So it's sort of a glowing, almost fairy fire type light that is in these that have become pretty commonplace, but it's still not enough to illuminate the whole alley or anything. It's just like kind of shadows on the sides, and then bright light in the middle of the street, so people have a safe way to walk. But he's kind of turning and going around the side of the building.
And he's not seen me following him?
No, he doesn't seem to. He doesn't seem to have caught on that you're there.
I'm gonna call out.
Can you? Yeah, thank you.
Terrence.
He kind of stops and he looks back, and when he sees you, his eyes go wide, and he hugs what he's holding, and he starts running down the alley.
I am going to, I guess, chase him.
Okay. All right. So let's see. Running. You've got. Let me see. So you're heading down. You've got 30 movement speed. Is that correct? I think.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're gaining pretty well, but he still was ahead of you. So you get to the side, and then you look down, and it's an alleyway that's kind of narrow. There's the casino on one side, and then some other building you don't know what it is because you haven't been here long enough to figure it out on the other side, and he's running straight through. There are two lights as you go in that are on this side of the street, but nothing down the alley. There's no lights down there. It's just dark. But then you see a faint light coming from him as he's moving. And so it's kind of casting away around him. So he's either carrying some type of lantern, or he's cast something to shed light, or something's happening. He's now got some light coming from him as he's walking down. But then the light blinks out.
So while I'm running, can I pull up my wand and cast light?
Yeah. What's casting time?
I think it's an action, but I'm not sure. Let me see. Light. Sorry, it says at will, and yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe it's just at will, so maybe it's not an action. What is it? What does at will mean?
It means that
Whenever
you
you
can
want.
do it whenever you want.
Meaning it doesn't count for like a combat action.
Yeah, it's not a. It's a cantrip, right? So it's not a.
Yeah.
So
I just wonder if
doesn't count as a spell.
That's more about how many times I can cast it rather than.
Yeah, exactly. Let me look it up real quick.
Yeah, casting time, one action.
Yep. Yeah, so you could do that. We're not into combat rounds or anything like that, so I'd say you'll be able to do that as you're running through. You still be able to move the 30 feet, which is just enough. Like if you were gonna dash or something, or try to move even faster, then that would be, giving up some actions. But I think you can definitely do that.
Okay, I'm just trying to shed light on anything since the light disappeared to see if it illuminates anything for me.
Yeah, so you can see, and then you see ahead, there he is, and he's kind of standing there, and then what you didn't see before, there's another figure at the end of the alley that he's meeting up with. And it's hard to tell, but you think you recognize the silhouette. and you think it might be Drayan.
Okay.
Which kind of doesn't make sense given the way things left. You would have thought that they would not be.
Yeah, they'd hate each other.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Are they still running or moving or?
They kind of went to the end. He's stopped at this point, and as he's got back, he's kind of like holding what he's holding on to, and then he's kind of moved behind Drayan a little bit.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna run. I'm gonna continue to run until I kind of get close enough to be able to talk to him.
Yeah. So they definitely say, "Enric, my old friend," and it's Drayan, and you can now that you can kind of you're there closer and you see the light. Half of him appears to be, at least the part that's not clothed. He's always had sort of a reddish hue to his skin. He's actually fire genasi. He's always had like a reddish hue to his skin, and he's always had sort of a charcoalish black hair. But the left side of his body is now this deep purplish kind of scar, like from his face down and down into the hand. You can tell it from light, and it looks like deep purplish black, but it's hard to tell a lot of the detail because of the dim light. And he just kind of has a smirk on his face as he's looking at you. I can't imagine that I would be seeing you here. What a coincidence. Although, the last time we got one of these, you were with us as well. Interesting.
Indeed. So that's a new one. So that's a new orb. Thanks for that information.
Ever the scholar, I see.
So I have my wand drawn, right? Because I got light on it. Gosh, I don't know what to do next.
We're not there.
Yeah,
Just
you guys
so you
stayed.
know.
Yeah, no, they stayed back.
Yeah.
I'm going to. Screw it. I'm going to attack him.
All right, roll for initiative.
Do you need help?
Good call. Good call.
Our weapons are in the check coat place.
Let's say 12.
All right. What's your dexterity?
It is 16.
Okay.
Henrik has a death
I rolled a
flash.
9.
I had a tie,
Roll a
so
nine.
I had a tie with
Okay.
you, so the higher dex goes. So
Okay.
on one of them. So so it's all right. So as it looks like you're going to go to move to attack, Drayan holds up a hand in front of him and just points his palm at you, and need you to do a dexterity saving throw as a light starts coming out of his hand. But this light, it's weird. It kind of pulsates out, and then it turns into almost the same type of light-sucking darkness type of ray that you saw at the shrine. Remember when the orb or that glyph was kind of like pulsating with that color out of his hand? What's your constitution? Or I'm sorry, your dexterity save?
It is 13.
Okay. You take 6 points of necrotic damage. So it's sort of like coming out of his palm. You've seen a similar spell cast by Riva, but hers was light and radiant.
Okay.
And is now your turn. You're up.
So they're in an alley, right?
So they
Yeah,
don't have anywhere to
looks
go
like
in
a
the
dead
back. Yeah. So
Looks like a dead end.
Yeah.
How tall is the ceiling? Or like
it's,
to the roof?
yeah, there's no, like, it's completely open sky. Like, there's just, you're literally between the two buildings, so there's no roof over top. The roof of the adjacent buildings, I'd say it's about like a 3-story building size each way. So maybe 30 feet ish on either side, but it's completely open above you.
Okay, so the 30 feet is important because I want to cast Misty Step, and the range is 30 feet.
Oh, I see. I see. Well,
Can
I
I
would say,
can I jump in the air and then cast it?
yeah, no, I would say that you could probably get it because it's like, are you trying to get on top of the building?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I would say you could probably do it. Like, given where, like, it's not really the same pitch, isn't right there. Like, I would say you could get to the top.
Okay, so I'm gonna cast Misty Step. So I have that feat Fey touched, so I can cast Misty Step as a free action.
Awesome. Okay.
I'm gonna cast Misty Step to get to maybe the corner of the roof, and then I want to cast Ice Knife down at whoever has the orb. That's Terrence right behind him.
Got it. So, which is one of them a cantrip? Ice Knife, I guess?
Ice Knife's first level wizard spell.
Got it. And Misty Step is not a spell, it's an action type of thing?
It's a spell. It says because of a Fey touched feat, I get added it as a spell, so it says it's a bonus action.
So it's a bonus action spell?
Yeah, sorry, not a free action, but it's listed as a bonus action, yeah.
So if you cast a spell as a bonus action, the only other spell you can cast it around is a cantrip.
Okay.
If I remember right. I think it's right. It tries, because you technically can't cast twice in a round. You can only cast, but if you have a bonus action spell, you can cast a cantrip.
Okay. Let me see here then.
So like Ray of Frost would work instead of Ice Knife, or something like that. But love the idea. It's just,
let's do yeah, I'm gonna do Firebolt instead of
Okay.
Ice Knife.
awesome. All right, so yeah, so you sort of
Yeah. I think you have to roll for it.
yeah. So what does it look like? What does the Misty Step look like as that happens? What does your spell appear to be?
Yeah, basically it just envelops me in like almost like a Nightcrawler thing. So it makes a mist around me, and then
Okay.
I disappear and teleport up to the top.
Got it. So like it's because you're Fey touch, so it's almost like a spring, like mist fog kind of goes around you, and then you
Yeah,
appear up at the top. And same type of thing. And then all right, then you go with the Firebolt.
Sorry.
Is that a
Yeah. Well, can I think about it again first?
yeah.
So if I cast Misty Step and go up to the roof, to them, could I just stay there and just be quiet rather than attack them?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Can you teleport back to us?
I can only go 30 feet.
Oh shoot!
So,
Yep.
but I want to go up to the.
Yeah, it depends on if they can spot you or not. Like, you can't technically hide because your action is to do the thing, but you can, if you're up there, they could see if they don't see you or anything.
Let's do that. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
So I'm gonna Misty Step to the roof, and I'm just gonna wait.
All right. You're like, what? What? Zrisha, do you see him? He is nearby. You hear that voice, but you don't see where it's coming from. Can't hear you. Yeah.
What was that name?
Zrisha?
Shrisha?
Zrisha. Z.
Zorisha.
Zrisha. Zrisha.
So I can maybe assume there's a third person there that I didn't see.
Yeah. Or they have an imaginary friend that answers back.
Yeah.
That you can hear.
They're very good ventriloquists.
Yeah. You have a good imagination too, Henrik.
They might be possessed with that thing.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna sit tight and wait and see if they
Okay.
take any movement.
Yeah, they look as if they don't see you, and then they're like, so maybe the Athenaeum is sending someone after all. And then the other guy's like, well, but I was working alongside them. I had no knowledge of them sending anyone anywhere. This is Terrence speaking, and I don't know. I don't know why they would have. Why would they have sent 2 teams? No one has been in this area for years. It doesn't matter. We have the orb. Why can't we just leave? We leave when the job is done. Yes. And then Terrence is like, yeah, well, are there any of the other Shadow Seekers here? No, it's just us. All right, well, let's wait for the 3rd, and then we'll go. And then they kind of are sitting there, and then you see sort of a light, and then you smell tobacco smoke. And you look down and you see Terrence is like, he's like nervous, and he's like smoking a cigar. He's like,
Okay, so I'm just gonna sit tight. I'm not gonna risk moving or doing anything that would give my position away.
okay. All right. Cutscene. Back over to Alora and Riva. What are you guys doing?
Well,
Sitting freaking out, wondering where he went, what he's doing, and what we should do.
about how much time has passed? Is it enough that a friend would be worried
It's been a couple
he's
minutes.
not back?
It's all happened pretty fast. It's been a couple minutes, but you kind of like, why isn't he back? Or, it depends on how much you would worry if you hadn't heard from him in a couple minutes. So I'll leave that to you.
Oh man. Ugh. Okay. I want to kind of look at the guys that are at the front and ask them, hey, if we leave, we've got better yet, can I go back in and get my weapons?
Sure. You go back towards the coat check or the weapon check?
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna try to really quick go back in and grab my weapons if I can, because if he isn't back by the time I make it back to the front door, then I'm gonna go looking for him.
Okay. So you make your way over to the thing. Hey, picking up or dropping off?
Just picking up real quick, thank you.
Sir, ticket, please.
I give him the ticket.
All right. And he takes the ticket and he hands your stuff back. Everything's there.
All right.
It has like a little ribbon wrapped around it, like tied in a bow, and he hands it back.
I slip him 2 silver.
Thank you, my dear.
And I head back to the front door.
Okay. Alora, what are you doing?
Listen, I know you don't feel good. I know you don't feel good. So if you want to stay here, stay here. And I'll go and try to find him.
But I don't think we should split up.
Okay, I have a question. How does Hunter's Mark work? Is that something that she could possibly cast on me and then be able to know where I'm at if she needs to come and look for me? Or is that something that resolves fairly quick?
That's a interesting question. Let me look it up. So you can choose Market Square, you have extra 1d6 whenever.
It lasts for an hour, only a 90-foot range.
Hmm.
Oh, that's for first level.
Yeah, but it's
Never mind,
really
my bad.
more about providing
Kill.
advantage, but then also it gives you advantage on tracking to find it.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
So-
I know she doesn't want to like harm me,
Yeah,
but
you
I'm
could do
trying
that.
to think like
Sure.
she really isn't well, and I'm feeling great. But we don't have any way to communicate with each other if I do happen to go off and try to find Henrik by myself. So
Yeah.
I was just Reva was just kind of brainstorming on a way to maybe possibly give Alora some knowledge of where we might be, or I might be. But regardless of whatever, I'm gonna try to head out the way that Henrik went to see if I could possibly
Okay.
find him.
All right, so you're moving. You saw him turn, but you don't know how far he went, but you saw him turn left. Alora, are you staying or are you going to go with Reva?
I think I'm gonna try and find us a room.
Okay. Okay. So you're staying there. So Reva's moving that way. Alora, you gonna talk to the people there or try to see if you can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like I want to ask like the little dude, I guess, where the weapons are, how to get a room. We've been playing, and
Yeah, you should see if they're booked or not. Go talk to the two guys in the front. They might have some rooms left. They might be able to help you out.
okay, thank you. All right, so I'll go back to the front door and ask those guys. Do y'all have a room available for the night?
We, the slender, elfish looking guy with the. We may have a room. What? How much do you want a room tonight? Because
Depends.
lots of people need the rooms. So, how much do you want the room tonight?
20 gold.
That sounds about the right price to me, don't you think? Yes, that sounds good. I think that's fine. 20 gold. You did well, my friend. And then he goes, he steps away. The other guy's kind of staying there, walks through to another room, comes back, and he hands you a key. Up those stairs on the right, room number 14.
Okay, so has Reva already left?
Yep. Reva's already gone. So, Reva, you start moving down the street. You notice that there is sort of a turn off. There's two lights by sort of an alleyway. And then roll a perception check for me.
$14.
With a 14, because of where you are, the pitch of the roof on your left, you can see Henrik up on the roof looking down into the alleyway. So you're not sure what's going on, but you see your friend up there kind of crouching down on the roof and looking into the alleyway.
Okay. Because I see him up there, and I'm used to...
I rolled really crappy, Gary, on my other ones.
Well,
It's a
I've
good
been
thing, but-
kind of trained to sit and watch and
Yeah.
to kind of, look at the things that are happening around me. So
Yeah.
I kind of feel like, what is he doing up there?
Yeah.
He must be like, I feel like he must, I knew he was following the dude, so he must be watching. So if I could, is there any way that I could like climb up there?
Yeah, you can try climbing up the front.
I mean, I would say being a druid, I would shape change or shapeshift or whatever, but I've already used all my wild shapes, so I'm
Alright,
gonna have
so
to do
you
it the
can roll-
old-fashioned way.
You can roll a athletics check or dexterity check, whichever one you'd like to see if you can climb up. Henrik, something I did not ask is, have you called your familiar back to you, or is your familiar still on the other side of the...
Still on the other side, yeah.
Okay. Are you...
So I'm
going
gonna
to
go with
Or are
acrobatics.
you going to leave him there?
Say it one more time.
Are you blinking them back over to you at any point, or are you going to leave them there?
I think my plan was to bring him over eventually when we're settled.
Yeah, anytime you want to, you can dismiss and then recall a familiar as you need to. So you can basically like blink them in and out whenever you need to.
Okay. Even though we teleported?
Yeah, there's no
limit.
distance on it. You're just saying I'm dismissing my familiar, and so because it's a supernatural, like they're a fey creature, so like it's just the threads of the fey that do that. So like when they pop away, they're in the fey. When they or in some other dimension, when they come back, they're there.
Okay.
Just as a reminder.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm sorry. What did you roll, Crystal?
So I'm gonna use Dex for like acrobatics, or and I rolled a 14, so it's 17.
Yeah. So you're able to kind of move your way up. You get to the top, and it's a little bit of a challenge as you're kind of finding handholds on some of the stonework of these buildings, because they are mostly stone. And as you finally get up to the top, it's like a little bit of a challenge getting over, but you can get up on top of the roof.
All right.
At the front.
So I flip my hood over.
Okay.
And then I just kind of crouch down a little bit and kind of crab walk over to him.
You hear Riva climbing up the front where you are.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
What are we doing? Oh. I whispered, but you know.
All right, so you can see, and then as you're kind of sitting there, both of you notice, just because of your vantage point, that there's another person walking down from farther down the street, the direction that you were going. And as you get closer, you can see they have something slung over their shoulder, and they seem to be wearing sort of a vest and some slacks and some boots. And it appears to be someone with it's a human with sort of dark hair, kind of short cropped, and very well dressed, and sort of like Night on the Town type dress. As they get a little closer, you see on their left hip they have a firearm, and they're carrying some type of rifle over their shoulder, like a musket type rifle, and they make their way down the alley as if they're just ready to go that way. And they're like just whistling and walking down the alley, and
oh, that's a psycho right there. Just go ahead and no.
and then
Anybody who whistles
kind of puts his hand up, and then the three of them kind of walk up together. All right, well, I guess everyone's here. Good. Shall we go? Yes, let's go. Oh, I didn't know Zrisha was here as well. Huh. You, Shatterkai, you're something, let me tell you. All right, let's do this. And then you see as they, the thing that, or the bundle that Terrence was holding, he kind of opens it, and that's where the glow was coming out. So Henrik, when you were watching the glow kind of spilling out and then coming back, it was something wrapped up in that bundle. They open the bundle and you see an orb. And the orb is kind of pulsating, humming, and then you kind of get this eerie feeling that something's about to happen, and then they're all gone. All of them disappear.
Knew it. So we at least found out Terrence is kind of a bad guy.
Spy.
We found out that Drayen's kind of the ringleader. And this Risha person really is, but either way, Terrence is kind of the lackey.
Both of you roll, Henrik and Riva, while can you both roll a... Let me think. What check would this be? I would say it's Arcana or... No, I would say it's Arcana or even Religion might work. Whichever one you prefer.
Yeah, they're the same for me.
I'm sorry?
25.
Yeah.
I rolled a 1.
No. Henrik.
I mean, +1, so 2.
Riva, you have a headache. You have a splitting headache at this point. Trying to remember.
That sweet mead they got me earlier,
Yeah.
just
You're just feeling a little hungover already.
woozy.
Yep. Henrik, something, and almost as when you heard that, it like a lot of pieces started to click for you, because you know from your studies that the Shatterkai are beings. They're really distant relation, almost elves, but they're not originated from the Fae. They come from the Shadowfell, and tend to serve the Shadowfell, and that really kind of hits home with all the things that have happened so far. Some things seem to be meshing together a little bit for you.
And we never saw Zrisha, right? Did she ever come out before they teleported? We never saw anything.
Nope.
Okay.
Riva, not knowing any of these people, only Henrik, saw what happened after I came up.
Yeah.
Did the orb look like the one we have?
Looks just like the one that you have.
Okay.
And Henrik looks just like one of the ones. It had a different, you couldn't tell, but you assume it had a different sigil in it, because the only two Henrik that you've seen so far have had different symbols on or in them.
Right. Okay, so I'll tell Reba that. So those men had an orb, in case you saw it. It's they're the same people long ago that I had an encounter with when they stole another orb, and we have the third orb. So that's 3 orbs that we're aware of. I just
Thank
don't
God
know.
we have it in a secret place, because what are the chances?
Or pause there for a second. So, Alora, are you going to go check out your room now that you've got the key, or are you going to wait for them to come back, or what do you plan to do?
I'm going to wait for them at the front door.
Okay, got it. Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they're clear, then we can. I'll go back out to the main road and climb back down.
Got it.
Clear the alley. I don't want to climb back down in the alley in case Risha's still there, because technically,
You didn't
still
see
could
her
be
to
there.
begin with? Yeah.
Right.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
I mean, are we fairly certain that they all left? Do we know?
I don't know, Brian. Do I know? Was it a teleportation spell that I would recognize, or
Roll an Arcana check.
nope?
Seem like they're not there anymore.
Yeah, I think they cast Fireball.
Maybe they're just really, really small.
Oh, gosh.
Okay.
Riva,
So yeah, they disappeared, but I probably think we need to get this orb back to Dean Spiro, like as quick as we can, right?
Okay.
Or throw it on their faces, make them touch it.
Are you guys
Well, I
coming
was
down
th-
from the roof? I can't remember what. I know
Yeah.
you said that.
I'm coming down from the
Well,
roof.
I was trying to figure out if we knew for certain that they all left with the teleportation, because I kind of wanted to like go down and see if there was anything that they left behind, like the cigarette that the guy was.
Okay.
Did he leave a butt or anything?
So you're gonna go down and investigate that area?
I mean, Henrik doesn't have to come with me. I can go. I'll go down and I'll kind of like stealthily, quietly as I can,
Roll a
kind
stealth
of
check.
go down and see if I can kind of just, cursory look
Well-
around and.
First, roll an athletics check or a dexterity check to climb down.
A 7.
Okay, and now
I rolled a
roll-
4 plus
Okay.
3.
So now roll your stealth check with disadvantage.
Oh. 8.
Okay, so
I'm okay.
don't make any noises.
I tripped over that rock.
Okay.
I'm
Are you-
okay.
Now you can roll an investigation check if you'd like.
Not with that dice.
Do you have dark vision?
I do.
Okay, that'll help.
And I also can cast light. So, I mean, at this point, I've not been quiet, so we might as
Yeah.
well.
I can say that you don't see any anything burning. Like,
Okay.
you don't see a
Well, I'm
burning-
just gonna cast light really quick and kind of illuminate everything and see if I can see any.
Okay.
Is there anything left behind? I rolled a 18. And what was I rolling for?
Investigation.
16.
Yeah, so especially with the light, when you look around, you see normal, like some trash in the alley, some things like that, but you don't see any sign of people, and you don't see the cigarette or the cigar butt or anything around there.
Okay. I was trying to do my, like, handy dandy, Sherlock Holmes and be like, what kind of tobacco does he have?
Yep.
Okay, all right. So I'm just going to start walking back towards the casino.
Okay. Henrik, you too?
Yep. I'm going to stay close to Riva.
All right. So the two of you make your way back to the front entrance of the Silverbeard. And when you walk in, Alora's basically waiting for you, and she's there with the key. So.
What happened? What did you guys find?
You missed everything.
You missed everything.
I'm trying not to die.
And the two guys that are sitting there are like, really? What happened, guys?
We'll talk about it later.
What?
Okay. Well, I got us a room, so let's go check out the room.
You did?
It is
awesome.
a suite, by the way, so it's really 2 rooms. So
look at you being fancy.
It was 20 gold. I figured.
Yeah. You need to find some bandages. I got kind of scraped up a little bit a minute ago, but I'm all right.
Okay. We'll take care of it. Do I need to cure your wounds?
No, I'm not that bad. Just a little ego,
Okay, so as you're heading up to the room, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so as you kind of get to the stair.
Oh, wait.
Go ahead.
Do I have to recheck my weapons?
Yes, if you're coming in.
Okay, I'll go back, do that real quick, come back.
Okay. So, thank you.
I'm back. Thanks.
And then, so you make your way to the other side. This is like the opposite corner of where you kind of bamfed in at the beginning, and there's a spiral staircase that goes up. That spiral staircase goes up to 2nd floor, and then it's a hallway that goes kind of straight down from that with a number of rooms there, and then on the other, you're sort of at a corner, so there's a hallway on each side that kind of goes down. There's a little sign that shows you which way you're supposed to go, which room numbers are there, and you make your way to the room that you were assigned. Key lets you in, no problem, and you see that it's actually a pretty nice room. It's very well furnished. There's actually a fireplace in this room. Weirdly enough, you didn't see when you were on the roof where the chimneys would be, but there's a fireplace here for some reason, and it seems like there is some kind of a channeling to flue that goes around the building instead of up, and somehow they've got some kind of a situation that's keeping the building warm using some type of stonework that was already built into the structure or part of the structure, similar to what you saw when you were in the other ruin and the water seemed to be in the walls somehow. It's kind of venting the smoke and things through, but not making the room smoky. It's making it just kind of warm and nice and toasty in there. And you see that there's sort of a sofa in one area. There is a private bathroom in this area too, so you kind of got a really nice suite that you can. This building is actually equipped with running water and a private bathroom and all the things that you would think in a big city, especially in this era. And you're kind of at the cutting edge of what this Commonwealth can do. So nice. Yeah, and there's 2 separate areas for sleeping. So there's 2 sort of side bedrooms in this suite. So there's a couch and two rooms in this suite.
Okay, so with the rooms, do both rooms have just one bed, or is there 2 beds, or how does it?
So both rooms have a bed, and then there's the sofa. So if someone wants to crash out on the sofa, they can, and then there's also a couple beds. The beds are big enough for 2 people, the sofa, but yeah. All right. So we're gonna. Before we wrap up, is there anything that you guys want to do? Are you communicating what happened outside to Alora now, or are you gonna do that in between sessions, or how do you want to do that?
Yeah, we can do that. I want to definitely communicate that. I don't know if she knows that I know Terrence, so to make sure Alora knows that I know Terrence. Yeah, and we'll tell him the whole deal about the Risha and Drayan, all those, and maybe we can follow up offline or in between sessions to discuss what the shadow. What are they called? Shadow Kai.
Shatterkai?
Shadowfell.
Shatterkai.
Oh, Shatterkai.
And
Shadow
then
Kai.
Shadowfell. Yeah.
Yeah, so the Shatterkai, SHADAR-KAI, Shatterkai, and they're from the Shadowfell. And just for the sake of this, this is sort of common knowledge for this group, right? So the people that are attuned with nature would know this from from that world, and also Carrie Henrik would know this as basic, like almost cosmology, right? So you've got the prime material plane, like where you guys are right now, just the regular planet, the regular realm, the real world, so to speak. But overlapping the real world are two other realms. There's the Feywild, which is where a lot of the Fey creatures come from, and they're not all fairies and lovely, but it's a sort of the extreme of emotion, and that that's kind of the Fey realm. Then there's the Shadowfell, also overlaps. So there's sort of mirrors of this plane. The Shadowfell is a realm of darkness and shadow and death and decay. It's the absence of all of the emotion and brightness. So it's like they are mirrors of each other, like, or flip sides of the coin. And your realm is sort of in the middle. You have some of both. You have some of those things, but they're literally. It's almost like if you think, what really, like in our world, in recent memory, what really kind of makes you think of what the Shadowfell is. It's like the upside down in Stranger Things, right? Like it's that mirror. Whereas, like, so the buildings and the structures and the mountains are still in the same space. It's just different. And the same thing in the Feywild. They're all still in the same location, but the inhabitants and everybody are more the fairies and the other stuff in the Fey. So they're the polar opposites of each other. And there are places in the world where people can cross. And this is a known thing. But something else seems to be happening. And, you're not sure what, but you definitely saw something. You definitely saw what would have been a crossing to the Fae get turned into a crossing to the Shadowfell. And Javin was caught in the middle. Right?
So that whole area was one of those thinner spots.
Yeah, I mean, I think you would know that. Like, now that you're kind of like, and this isn't me putting it in your mouth. This is more like you kind of would now understand retroactively what some of those things meant. Now that you hear Shadowfell and Shadow, like it's starting to go,
Okay.
Oh, okay.
It's starting to click a little bit.
It is.
The shadows were just shadows at first, but then we encountered the Shadow Lord, and then we encounter, like, it's building.
Yeah.
Okay.
And part of this is like, and for the viewers too, part of this is me making sure that I'm explaining to the players what the characters would know, right? Like, because you as players may not know about all those things, but your characters would know those things because of what they grew up with and stuff. So I'm not going to take any choices away from you. I just want to make sure that you get what your characters would know. I want to make sure I explain. So that makes sense. Cool. All right. Well, got a lot of things to think about and figure out what the next steps. Do you have any ideas of what your next steps would be? Or do you want to?
I would like to not die.
Yeah.
Was whatever that's killing me is going to like finish me off before our next session, or do we need to do something before we get off?
So I think if you are, you're going to be able to take a good night's rest, and by that you will be back to full health after you get some sleep. So we'll get you a good night's rest, and then you'll be good to go. You have still not leveled up yet, so but you will be able to get a full long rest in a nice comfortable bed or couch wherever you're staying, and then we'll pick up in there, and then we'll figure out what your plans are for next step, and we can talk about that in between games, so I have an idea of where you're going and what to do for the next session. So
the other question I had was with the piece of jewelry that she kind of got. Does it take time to attune to it? Is that something that's going to happen like the next day? Because it's all still the same day, you know?
It does take time, and it wouldn't happen now. It may happen during next session.
Gotcha.
If not,
Okay.
Unless you find another way of learning more about it.
Well, I just didn't want to like forget about it, you know. I wanted to.
I definitely did not forget about it.
Because it's wrapped around her arm, right? You put it on your arm, Allura?
Yeah,
Like it just
yeah.
automatically
It
kind
actually,
of like
yeah, it just
acknowledged
automatically
you.
just
Okay,
got me.
all right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean, really, as far as like Riva goes, I mean, we definitely need to kind of get back. I don't know these people, so you know, I'm just gonna take Henrik or Alora's word for like what we need to do. But I do think like what Henrik is saying is we need to get back as soon as possible because we do have one of these orbs in our possession that I think we need to have in a safe place. So.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks again, everybody, and we'll pick it up from there next time. And you guys have a great night.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Great. Yep. Thanks all.